Gentlemen, we meet again. How you doing? So today I want to open an interesting conversation about all of the different servers on Soapbox Race World. I recently returned to the game and I haven't been playing any other racing games, so I haven't really, you know, I suppose for you Need for Speed World players, we could say I haven't been distracted by other games. And I've played across all the different servers, and I just want to talk about their differences, my opinion on which is the best, which is the worst, which new players should play on, and just a conversation about all of them, and also my ideas of, after playing on all of them, you kind of pick up a few things about what works and what doesn't work, and well, if you combine the things that work on different servers and put them into one, then you're going to have an ultimate server. So let's have a look at what I found by playing across these 6 different servers. Now, you know what? I'm just going to tell you my list from best to worst. I think World United is going to be my first choice to play on and my recommendation for people to play on. Second would be Night Riders, and Night Riders has some really interesting stuff coming up soon, so it's going to hopefully go really well, so I'm keen for that. And then after that, the remaining servers are somewhat underwhelming. I really like the Overdrive server and all the custom mods and things that have been added to it, but it's just dead and there's no community events that really encourage you to do anything multiplayer. And this is primarily a multiplayer game. Time attack challenges are good. Night Riders does time attack challenges really well, but again, they can be quite difficult for new players, but they also have a crew system, so it balances out. There's a good sense of community. Anyway, good sense of community there, but we're not talking about Night Riders right now. We're talking about Overdrive. Yeah, it doesn't have enough community events. It doesn't have enough players to really have much multiplayer. So, yeah, I don't know. That kind of lets it down. Free Roam Spark server, about the same as Overdrive. It doesn't have the cool events and things that Overdrive has, but it has a really unique feel to it. It has really nice cars, really cool ass cars, and the speed in that game feels good. E-Class is boring in every other server. E-Class in this server is freaking fun, and then it just gets crazier and crazier the higher up you go. But again, there is no reason to play on Spark server. There's just no community events, there's no multiplayer. You jump on, it's just okay, what do I do now? Underground server, it's the most vanilla of all of the servers. It basically has no support at the moment. It's very plain. Yeah, there's really no reason to jump on that server whatsoever. And what have I missed? I've missed World Evolved. World Evolved, well, I have a lot to say about World Evolved. Yeah, okay, let's say it. So World Evolved, it encourages multiplayer with some community events, but they're very grindy, and has weird events, weekly events, obtain a certain amount of airtime during the week, or do this or do that during the week. And it's just extremely time consuming. Not only that, take the airtime event for example. It's not only time consuming, it's stupid. What do you want me to do? You want me to jump onto a track that has a jump and then just go backwards and forwards over the jump in order to accumulate the jump time? It's just what the fuck for? Man, I'm here to play a racing game. I'm not here to fucking grind a, 15 plus year old game, or I don't know how old, a 13-year-old game, there you go. It's just dude, the events need to be fun. It's just, they're not meaningful. They're just grindy. If you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, you can do certain things, like I said, jumping over everything over and over again to achieve it, but what the fuck? Who's gonna do that? So weird. The time attacks for World Evolved are also extremely easy. Literally, if you use a class maxed car, you're gonna beat it. It's hard not to beat it, even if you crash heaps, you're gonna beat it. I was beating times by over 50 seconds. The time attacks are just dumb. I suppose they're free rewards and something to encourage brand new players. But if the time attacks are that easy, and you have a brand new player and he jumps on and he does that, then what else is there for him to do? The other multiplayer events that are encouraged on this server is finish amongst the top 3 on a specific track with a specific car class. And that's okay, but the point is to encourage multiplayer happening. If people need to be in the top 3 in order to complete the task, well, what I've found people do is as soon as there's more than 3 people in a multiplayer lobby, people leave. Because, you know, if there's 3 people, that's the ideal. Everybody gets rewarded. As soon as there's more than 3 people, someone's not going to get rewarded. And so, people are smart enough to say, okay, I'm going to just leave the lobby and make a new lobby. So what you have is you have like, potentially, you know, 5 lobbies of 3 players each, and nobody wanting to race together because they just want top 3. And there actually are enough players to get, you know, 8 players per lobby. So it's great to see that there's enough players to make it happen. But the event is just stupid. You know, encouraging people to be top 3, it's just like, well, okay, I'm gonna just go to the other lobby. It's like derailing itself. It's encouraging multiplayer. Yes, good, we need that. But then it's discouraging multiplayer by forcing you to be in the top 3. So it's failing. A better approach for that kind of a thing is what World United do, which is 3 target times, which you need to complete in multiplayer, you know, 7 times each. Like, it's so fun. It is the only server where you will find 8-player lobbies, and usually only on weekends, but it's the only server where this will ever happen. No other server do you get 8-player multiplayer lobbies, and it is extremely fun. And they're a good difficulty too, and it's you know, it has bronze, silver, gold. Bronze is usually quite easy, silver can be challenging for newer players, and gold is normally challenging for, you know, even good players. You know, ignoring the freaking robots, you know, silver and stuff. Some players are insane, but anyway, nonetheless, the targets are good and the events are fun. And they encourage you playing with 8 players, because what you're essentially doing is you're just time attacking, but with other players around you. It's clean, it's fun, it's fair, and everyone is encouraged to play together. So WUG has a really good system in that. And that actually, across all servers, is the most successful multiplayer weekly event community. It's just the most successful thing that there is. It's a it was a really good idea. Simple, and it works well. And like, you know, I was thinking of ideas of how they could make it even better and do things even better, and it's just like, no, you know what? They actually got it really, really well. It's really well thought out. Back to World Evolved now. On the Russian server, nothing makes sense. The weekly events don't make sense. They don't encourage anything. They basically exist for the point of existing. You don't need to be a good racer to achieve the time attacks. You don't need to... it does, like, the multiplayer encouraged events discourages you to play multiplayer. It's just dumb. It's just straight up dumb. And not only is this multiplayer aspect of the server dumb, the economy of that server is dumb too. I played on this... oh man, I went through the torture of playing 10 hours on World Evolved. I played 10 hours on this server. And after 10 hours, I have not leveled up enough to buy a B-class car. I have the cash for it because I've done some events here or there and got rewarded, but I haven't leveled up enough to buy even a B-class car. Like, what the fuck? 10 hours, dude. And they have a lot of paid for things as well. They at the beginning when I first started playing, I'm like, oh, they're not pay to win. They're just, you know, have a few features in there, but they're fucking pay to win. What the hell? In this game, is that even legal? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a pay-to-win server. It encourages you to pay money incredibly much. Like, you know, you literally pay in your max level. You pay and you get... I mean, cash is fine. That's easy to get by. But yeah, you pay and you level up. Leveling up is the biggest issue. Like I said, I played 10 hours. I don't think I'm even level 20. And yeah, I can't even buy B-class cars. I don't know. It's just dumb. Yeah, just and they also have, you know, so speed boost is being used in that server. They have another currency called blueprints for specific cars, which is just extra clutter and unnecessary. Like, there's a few cool things in there, but it just seems like they've added everything very messily, and they don't mesh well, and they don't make sense. Like, in my opinion, it just shows that the people who are in charge of it, are trying to make money, but not in an unfair way. I don't mind that they're trying to make money, because we're all adults, and these guys are providing a service to us which we wouldn't have otherwise. So I don't mind that they're asking for money and wanting us to pay money. That's okay. I'm a bit of a stinge and I'm not willing to pay for the server, but the main reason I don't want to pay for the server is just everything in it just seems dumb. The currencies are dumb, the leveling up system is dumb, the weekly events are dumb, they don't make sense. It just makes me feel like the devs of this server, I don't know, they're maybe just not that bright. Like, that's the vibe I get. And yeah, I guess it's kind of fucking shots fired, boom boom, but like, it's the fucking truth. And you know, I'm not making this video for them, so I don't care if I offend anybody. I'm making this video for you, the players, so that you know what all the different servers are like and which server you should be playing on, and whether you're making the right decision in which server you're playing on. But yeah, basically World Evolved summarized, and I know I went on a tangent for this server, but like, yeah, it's just dumb. Like, literally, it's such a weird description of it, but it just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, yeah, I don't know, it's difficult. What else do I have? I think I've mentioned them all, but I've went on a big tangent on on World Evolved. Yeah, and WUG also has, so World United this time, has a fantastic lobby system. So you get into a multiplayer race, and then if everybody press ready up, the lobby timer instantly gets reduced to 3, 2, 1, and then puts you in a race, which is just like a really, really good feature. It makes the game go so much smoother. It feels really good. Another thing that servers have are crews and clubs. Knight Rider's server has a nice cruise system, which, you know, it rewards you with very small things. It's not really, it doesn't really add to the game, but it encourages you to play in small communities of players. And these communities, you know, do their own stuff. They create their own leaderboards just amongst themselves, you know, to have some fun. So it's a good way to make friends. Like I said, there's an update coming to Knight Riders. There's going to be a competitive system and player ranks depending on how well you do in multiplayer. I hope it's successful, I hope it goes well, and I hope it encourages multiplayer in Knight Riders, because that's where Knight Riders is lacking. It has really nice weekly challenges, really nice weekly rewards, and a reason to play. But, you know, the main fun part, in my opinion, of Need for Speed World is racing against other players. And, you know, hope this competitive system, this ranked system, you know, brings more life to the multiplayer aspect of Knight Riders. They said they're also bringing in something to do with clubs and crews that'll encourage multiplayer, so hopefully it goes well, and you know, Knight Riders becomes even better than it already is. Cars, all servers are good when it comes to cars. I'm pretty happy with all of them. You know, the only one that really doesn't have many cars is Underground, but that's a dead server. It's not worth talking about. In addition to cars, there's like some servers have a level of customization where you can, you know, add, I don't know, headlights and maybe things on your back window and roof, and change your mirrors and stuff like that. Just little things here and there, which is nice. World Evolved has that, Overdrive has that. I think they're the only two, if memory serves me correct, but they, you know, I don't care about these things. I care about having fun. So talking about fun, World United, in my opinion, has the best tuning system in its server. It's somewhat complex to understand. There was this guy in the Discord server who was helping me out in understanding exactly how tuning works, and I've gotten a good grasp of it, and it's really fun. You know, if you want to find out more, just, you know, type up in the Discord server and you know, someone to help you, or jump in my server and I'll help you understand it. But yeah, World United tuning actually feels meaningful, and it feels really fun to tune a car and to actually, you know, feel a difference depending on which parts you choose. Whereas every other server, tuning doesn't feel like it has much of an impact at all. Adding to that, Knight Riders also said that they are soon going to have a tuning update. So a lot of good new things coming to Knight Riders, which will hopefully make it as good as World United, or, you know, another really viable option as a server. Yeah. Overdrive, I remember when the Overdrive server first released, it was advertising how every car is getting a retune, and, you know, everything's going to be cool and new and this and that. The first car I chose was the Alfa Romeo Brera, and every time I was in a race with someone, I was severely disadvantaged. Like, this is like going into a foot race and, you know, losing your freaking legs. So here I am, fucking no legs, just crawling with my hands, trying to run with the guys that have 2 legs. It's like, it's never gonna work. And it's just like, okay, if that is my starting car, and my starting car is so horrible, well, how can I trust the rest of the tuning in the game? If instantly the first car that I use is useless compared to the other cars in that class, how can I trust any tunes by the devs in this entire server? It just makes me lose confidence in the performance of cars and the balance in the Overdrive server. Oh yeah, the economy in Overdrive is bad, very difficult to make money. Literally every server's economy is very difficult to make money, but World United and Knight Riders help you out with, yeah, they're just the best. They're honestly the best ones. Their events are the best, and the leveling up it feels somewhat smooth. Still grindy, but better than the others for sure. Yeah, back to Overdrive and the wholesome guy that was racing E-Class with me. He used a variety of different E-Class cars, and he was killing me every time. And I was watching him drive. I was like, oh, this guy, look at him go. He's, you know, he's a decent driver, and, you know, he's beating me every time. It's just like, but, like, buddy, you're not that good. And I could tell he was, like, thinking I'm a complete fucking noob and complete shit. And then I was told, he changed cars a few times, and he just kept on killing me, and I was like, bro, this is so embarrassing. Like, I was literally getting angry at how bad my car was. Anyway, eventually he changed to the same car as me, and I was destroying him, and it's just like, yeah, dude. It's the fucking car. It's this useless. So yeah, I've lost confidence in the car balance on the Overdrive server. Overdrive has some really nice events though. Team escapes have been rehauled, and they're really cool. Lots of low flying helicopters and stuff like that in team escapes. Just a really cool vibe. There's also a cops and robbers mode, but you need players in order to play it, and the server is dead. There's never enough players online to actually play it, so I haven't been able to test the cops and robbers mode. They also have a most wanted system where basically there's offline events, single player events, where you play against all of the 15 blacklist bosses from Most Wanted 2005, and then you win their cars, which is a really nice kind of makeshift campaign that no other server has, and it also gives you something to do. Despite the server lacking multiplayer and lacking a player base, it still gives you something fun to do. So that's really cool, and that's really fun. Yeah, it's a good server overall. It's failing because it doesn't have enough players. You know, if it had more players and it had more weekly events and things like that, it would be a very good server. But it's just suffering because of the other server's success. Overdrive has potential, yeah, despite the car tuning loss of confidence. I would say that it is a decent server, but I don't think I want to play on it anymore. Yeah, I think I've I've ranted for quite a while. I didn't go in depth and talk about what the Night Riders events and the World United events are. Many of you who watch will know. I know some of you are going to be new players and want to know the fine details, but I don't know, it's boring to go through. I'm not going to bother telling you every little thing every little server does, but I will give you a somewhat summary and to give you some opinions, which hopefully helps you make a decision on where to play. Final list, final rankings. World United, first place. Night Riders, second place. Third place is going to be tied between World Evolved, Spark Server, and Overdrive. Actually, I think it's going to be, yeah, third place is going to be tied between World Evolved and Overdrive. Ah, no, it can't leave out Spark Server. Okay, yeah. Three-way tie between World Evolved, Spark Server, and Overdrive, and then last place is going to be Underground Server. Yeah. That is it. That's my rankings going into 2024. Personally, I think I am going to only play on World United and Night Riders. I wouldn't suggest any other servers. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Hope you found this video interesting. If you have your own opinions on the servers, let me know in the comments. Also, I'm gonna make a comment with like a few suggestions of how to ramp up all the servers and maybe you know, combine ideas to make the servers better. But yeah, get involved in the discussion in the comments. I want to know what you guys think, and if you guys have any cool ideas, or you know, if you have nitpicks about the different servers, or which server is your favorite and why. Yeah, long rant. Hopefully you found it interesting, and I'll catch you in the next one. I don't know why I'm talking so aggressively. See you later.